get it to restart. Let me save your ears some pain. I screwed up like I usually do on these type of videos, and I did not take into account for the microphone and the cars and the traffic, so the entire time you hear this. And I don't think you want to hear it. I really wouldn't want to hear it. But this video is a solo road trip that I took this summer. I went to Washington, Oregon, Idaho, down into Utah, into Wyoming, back into Utah, down into the little corner of Arizona, into Nevada, back to California, up to Oregon, and into back home into Washington. And I did that all in like a week. I camped the entire time. I tried getting as much footage as I could, but this was more of a kind of mental health reset, kind of just gather everything and relax type of trip. So I didn't focus a whole lot on the camera work. That's also why I kind of screwed up on the microphone work. So I hope you enjoy, and I will have all the places, all the campsites that I stayed at in the description below. Let's get going. Heading down to our first campsite was probably one of the longer drives. It was like 8-9 hours from home all the way down to the campsite in Idaho. I'd say one of the coolest things about Idaho was the scenery. It kind of looked like you were in a hidden ranch commercial when you got in some of the farmland areas. And also the speed limits were about 80 miles per hour, so that definitely helped make up time when I had to stop and go to the restroom or stop and get gas. I really hate doing these voiceovers, but the campsite was super windy, and I was still a little bit insecure about sitting there talking to the camera to myself, looking like one of those normal YouTubers. Haven't got fully comfortable doing that yet. But here we are at the Cottonwood Campground. I will have the description down below for anybody that wants to come. It's a really good campsite right there on the lake. Tons of people were fishing, so if you're a big fisherman and you happen to be in Idaho, swing on by this lake. I don't know if they caught anything. I didn't see anything. I'm not a big fisherman myself. But yeah, I went ahead and set up camp, and it started raining because, as you could see in the background, those very dark clouds. Which I'm not complaining too much because I got to look at this. This was my view. I just chilled in my tent for most of the day, reading my book and enjoying this. So I ended up deciding to sleep in my tent, and of course as soon as I got my tent set up it started raining, so I spent most of my day in the tent reading, and just woke up from kind of a nap, which was kind of bad because now I have to try going back to sleep. It's like 8 o'clock. Probably just go to sleep and get our early morning, but just wanted to share. Tons of bugs, but nice view. Well, good morning. I'm already all packed up with the sunrise. Had a little bit of trouble sleeping last night with all my napping during the day, but I finally got to bed. Campsites are dead. It's the week after Memorial Day weekend. Like I said, we're already all packed up. I'm gonna be heading to Ogden, Utah to get gas, and then on to our next campsite. I'm gonna save some time here and let you watch this beautiful sunrise. We end up leaving from the Cottonwood campsite and headed towards Utah to go camp at the Red Canyon campgrounds, which was up by the Flaming Gorge, which was by the Ashley National Forest. And I gotta say, that was one of the best campgrounds. But before I get ahead of myself, This Cottonwood campground, I rated probably at 8 out of 10. I would definitely go back for a day trip. Amazing sunset and amazing sunrise. The campsites were really nice. They're really big, right there on the lake, so you can't complain. Only downfall, obviously, were the bugs, which that's to be expected when you're camping right next to the lake. I'm already boring the hell out of you with my voice, so I'm not gonna bore you with some of the videos of just driving through the hills. So I went from Idaho into Utah, Ogden, Utah, up to Wyoming, and drove about an hour into Wyoming and then dropped back down into Utah to the Ashley National Forest. And it was a lot of just windy back in roads, a lot of flat land in Wyoming, and then right into big mountains like this in Utah. Look at that. It's been so nice because this is after Memorial Day weekend, and there's been like nobody. All the campers and everything are going home. All the campsites are empty. Like boat ramps and stuff are empty. Like everyone's done. They went back to work. What a bunch of chumps. So it seems I got a little lucky. I thought I was gonna be out here by myself because there's still nobody. There was nobody at any of the campgrounds. And I went for a little hike and I came back. There was a motorcyclist that popped up camp, so I won't be completely alone, but I did decide to sleep in my tent tonight. So gotta set up over there. It's the only place that had shade. I lounged around, read a little bit, getting ready to make some dinner. It's gonna be some hot links. Got some firewood ready for some s'mores later. And yeah, so here's to not dying tonight. All right, so night number 2 survived. Our neighbor didn't kill us in the middle of the night. Although I did wake up at 3:30 and I was like, fuck, I gotta pee. And I was like, no, I'm not getting out to go pee. And I went, whoa, wow. I went back to sleep. But yeah, it was a good night, good morning. Woke up, made breakfast, and then I went and took my chair and my book, and I went and sat on the cliff reading my book and packed up, and now we're heading out to the UFO campground. I don't know what check-in time is. The guy tried calling me and asking me when I'll be there, so I gotta try to get service, get a hold of my dad, see when he's gonna be there, and then see when I'll be checking in. Quick little gesture wave. Thanks for not killing me last night, dude, Mr. Stranger. But yeah, so we're on our way to the next campground. Do gotta stop at a grocery store and get some burgers for tonight's dinner. And then, yeah, we're on our way to Skinwalker Ranch. So, Skinwalker Ranch is going to be a separate video. Fortunately, there's not another video. I did not gather enough content for a video, but I will show the campsite in this video, and I have the website in the description below if you want to go try camping there and doing your own investigation. Make sure I'll put the link in the description for that video. But yeah, back on the road, and see you guys at Skinwalker Ranch. All right, so we took a little detour to Dinosaur, Colorado. I was just looking on the map, and I seen that it was like an hour out of our way. So I was like, why not? Let's go. So I don't know what's here. I just wanted to come. It said it was about an hour. Ah, shit. Don't worry, you didn't miss much. That part of Colorado I went to was pretty plain. Alright, here we are, next to Skinwalker Ranch. It's hot. There's no cover. So, I'm glad I grabbed my poncho. But, Apparently, if you watch the show, over there is like Homestead 3. I think she said we're on the west side. And yeah. So, the owners of the campsite, pretty cool. She said she's never seen anything while living out here. Apparently, a lot of the town folk says it's all bullshit too. So we'll see. So occasionally you'll run into an older couple. They'll be like, "Oh, well, back in 18 or 1900, wherever they seen something." But yeah, so we'll see. Later when it cools off, we'll pull out some of our gear and set things up. See if we can get anything.
One eternity later.
Well, good morning. No lights in the sky. No nothing. There was a weird light that I didn't capture because I was playing on an idea. It was somewhere out there, and all night you've seen like a white light. And it was just a regular like house light or whatever. Well, out of nowhere, it like just started glowing orange, like bright orange, and it started like glowing like almost like it was a fire, and then it dimmed down and then it went out, and then it didn't do it the rest of the night. So I'm not really sure what that was about. And then the REM pod was just going crazy all night. Nothing on the EMFs. And yeah, nothing in the sky. No, there's weird noises. But you know, you're outside, so that could be anything. I think I got rained on a little bit last night. And then I woke up to some angry clouds. So I rushed to pack up, and now we're just having some overly watered oats and some coffee and a banana. And once I'm done with these watery oats, I'll probably make another cup of coffee, put in my mug, and then probably get ready to head out, because there's nothing left here to do. The plan was my dad was supposed to meet me at Skinwalker Ranch, but unfortunately there was some miscommunication and he wasn't able to make it. So to make up for that, he drove from Las Vegas to Moab and met me at my campsite there. So I have a lot of empty gap between time from Skinwalker Ranch to while I was in Moab, because I was just trying to spend as much time with him, and I didn't want to just do a whole bunch of filming and kind of ignore him because he just drove all that way. Also, I was kind of getting to the end of my trip, and I started getting really sad. I didn't want to go home and go back to work. I was enjoying myself just being out on the road by myself for the most part, and I just didn't do a whole lot of filming from here on. I do have some more footage to show you guys, but I just didn't want to spend the rest of my trip focusing on the camera. I just wanted to continue to do that self-healing, just nice peace and quiet, and just enjoy the rest of my trip. Oddly, I forgot to film the campsite while I was there. I actually didn't stay at a campsite, it was more of an RV resort, so it was super bougie. I ended up having Wi-Fi at my campsite, and there was showers, there was a hot tub, a little convenience store that was run by the resort. So if you have a family and you have an RV and you're heading down to Moab, we'll put the place in the description below if you want to check it out. It was really cool. The one biggest downfall was there was tons of mosquitoes. I so far got away with only 2 mosquito bites out of all the places I've been to, but after just the one night with my dad in Moab, I freaking had like 20. Like I said, my dad drove all that way, and it was only to see me. He wasn't planning on staying very long, except just one night, and then leave kind of by the afternoon the next day. So the night he got there, we ended up driving into the Canyonlands National Park. We drove around a little bit, seen some of the sights there, and then we went back to our resort to get eaten by mosquitoes. And the next day we got up super early because I wanted to hit this trail that is supposed to be only for like 4-wheel drives and stuff like that. But, you know, the Subaru's got it. Subaru for the win. We drove down this massive one-way road all the way down this cliff to the Gooseneck Overlook. which we passed a couple campsites on the way in. I kind of wanted to do some recon, so another trip when I go down to Moab, I want to actually go on that trail and camp because there's nobody around there and you're just out there in the desert. So we did that. We chilled a little bit, took some photos, and then headed back up to the resort so he can get it on the road. After my dad left, I had plenty of sun left to go do some of my own exploring, so I just jumped in the car and I just started driving south. And I just went and got lost. I just went down some random roads until I found something I wanted to check out, and I ended up crossing this little river creek thing to go check out some rock formations. I found this cool arch thing on the side of the highway. I ended up getting out and I had to climb up it with my Crocs just because I got my boots all wet. Most importantly, I found what I was looking for, which was complete silence. I went on my hike that I crossed the river and there was nothing out there. There was no planes, there was no people, no cars, traffic, anything. It was just absolutely quiet and so peaceful. I really enjoyed Moab. I really want to go back. Loved it. I really recommend anybody to go to Moab and check out some of the rock formations. It's insane to see what the earth has done. There's not just hiking there. There's a lot of companies that rent out the razors. So if you don't want to actually go walk and hike and stuff like that, there's those razors you can rent. At one point, I pulled over to the side of the road and I watched some people rock climbing a cliff, which that was pretty cool. Unfortunately, by the time I turned my car around and got out and got my camera, they were already off the cliff. So I was like, man, I sat there for a good 20-30 minutes thinking somebody was going to go back up, but nobody did. After getting eaten alive for the second night in Moab, I was borderline ready to move on. Didn't want to leave the scenery or anything, but I wanted the hell away from those mosquitoes. So hit the road that morning pretty early to get to Mount Charleston, super early, so I'd have plenty of time to go for a nice hike. And I had to say, I was extremely surprised that I went from Vegas, like 98 degrees at 10 o'clock in the morning, to Mount Charleston, which I think is like 30 minutes away or something like that, and complete cloud coverage, temperature dropped like 30 degrees, and it was insane. I am super impressed that Mount Charleston exists just that close to Las Vegas. Well, here it is. Last campsite of the trip. I think it's fitting. It's been a good trip. I'm gonna be sad for it to end. Mount Charleston, Nevada. For it being a desert, got a good view still. It started raining on us when we started setting up, but hopefully that stops. I don't want it washing my dead bug collection away. Yeah, I'll show you guys more if I go on a hike. Don't have much battery, but decided to go do a small little hike, 6 miles. I've had about a half gallon of water, so see how I do. And yeah, hopefully I'll have some battery for the top, or not the necessary top because we're doing the smaller route. But man, oh man, oh man. Stupid tree. Going away my shot. Alright, here's the big reveal. Let's charge up this mountain. That's it. So we came from over there. This is it. I think this is the lookout everybody hikes up to. Like I said, it starts descending. And down there. Hoi! That is a little tiring. I think we have like about a mile left to go. What do we get about at the bottom? I can't wait till I'm there because I'm hungry. All right, well, see you guys back at camp. All right, well, it's the last morning here, and it's actually kind of sad. But yeah, having some oatmeal, rest of my coffee, and Pop-Tart. Hopefully I made the oatmeal okay this time. It does not looking promising. Yeah, it's been a great trip, and if you watched the whole video, thank you. You should definitely plan a solo trip and just hit a bunch of points, the places that you want to go to, and yeah, it's a good time. It's really kind of helps reground you and get you ready to go back into the whole work setting and everything. It's kind of just a nice reset button. That's what I should have said. Yeah, this battery's about to die. This is a different GoPro. That's why it probably looks different. But yeah, thanks for watching, and